Welcome to Senior Stay or Go TV. Today we have two wonderful guests. We have Catherine Holt and her mom, Lois Knowlton. They are the founder and owners and co-owners of the Poway Adult Day Healthcare Center and friends of the Poway Adult Day Healthcare Center. So thank you so much for being here today. We'd love to learn more about your center.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you both for being here. We're just thrilled to have you here because, like you said, they're the best kept secret in San Diego County, and that's a mouthful, the Poway Adult Poway Adult Day Health Center.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about how long have you been in existence and how long have you been in this field and how did you get into this field?
Sure. Well, Poway Adult Day Healthcare Center will be 15 years old this June 27th, and my first career was I was an elementary school teacher. I graduated in 1984 with my teaching credential and never would have dreamed that I would do anything other than teach elementary age children for my entire career. But in about 15 years into my teaching career, my grandmother, Faye, in her 90s, had a very bad fall where she broke her leg and ended up needing skilled nursing care. Through that life experience, the doctors told our family, your mother will probably, and grandma, will never be able to walk again. She'll probably be in a wheelchair for the rest of...
That's my mother.
Your mom.
Yes. And I had just gotten a position at I had been a long time school teacher in community college, and I had just gotten a position as a dean at Grossmont College of Business and Professional Studies, and so usually the daughter is the one that takes care of the mom, but in my case I thought, here's my capstone career job and I can't take it, and so fortunately my daughter stepped in.
Well, that's nice to do. I'm sorry, go ahead, continue.
Sure. So Grandma, fortunately, she proved the doctor wrong, or the orthopedic surgeon. She was very determined and feisty, spirited lady, and she, after about 6 months of intensive rehab therapy in a skilled nursing facility, she was able to walk again with a walker.
And this all take place in Poway?
Actually in La Mesa at the time.
La Mesa.
My mom and dad live in La Mesa, and Grandma lived in La Mesa for many, many years. And but through this experience, when I would visit Grandma in the nursing home, she was always saying, when am I getting out of here? When am I going home? And it really pulled on our heartstrings, and we decided to take a leap of faith and see if we could somehow make it work to bring Grandma to live with us, my husband and myself, in our home in Ramona at the time. And our oldest and only daughter at the time was 2 years old then. And so I thought, well, maybe I would take a leave of absence from teaching and we could bring Grandma into our home and I would stay home and take care of Caitlin and Grandma. The people in the nursing home actually were very surprised when we said we wanted to try this, and they even were discouraging, saying that, most families like yourself that want to bring their loved one out of the nursing home and back home end up returning in 2 or 3 months due to the high burnout level. And so, but I was determined. I thought maybe we'll be the exception. We will be the exception. And so we got Grandma moved into our home, and lo and behold, within about 2 months, I started realizing that she needed more than just me for her sole companionship and stimulation and entertainment, socialization. I myself needed to be able to know I could run to the grocery store and not come back and find she'd had a fall. And so I started calling around in the community, and I thought, well, I'll call the senior center. Maybe I could take Grandma there a couple days a week and she can participate in activities and get a little more socialization. And when I explained my grandmother's condition, that, she still very much enjoys being around people, but she does have some memory loss now. She does need some assistance in the restroom, and she is a fall risk. She can walk with a walker, but you know, you want to be right next to her. The senior center said, well, you'd be more than welcome to bring her here, but you would have to stay with her or
the
send her.
minute you said fall risk, they
yes,
go, eek.
yes, or send her with a caregiver. But thankfully, they told me, they said, you should check, call the Ramona Adult Day Healthcare Center. So I had never heard of such a program, never knew this model of care existed. The people in the nursing home, when the discharge planning process, they did not include a referral or a recommendation to look into your community and see what other program, or if there's an adult day program. So once we found that program, it was life-changing. Grandma was enrolled. She attended almost 5 days a week for the last 4 years of her life, and it gave her
the life of the party.
She was.
She's like you two.
The
apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Am I gathering that?
Yeah. I do think we have some strong women in our family. Definitely. But Grandma looked forward to going to the center. She, even on the weekend when the center was closed, would sometimes say to me midday, isn't the bus coming to pick me up today? And I'd say, oh, not today, but you know, Monday, Grandma. But it was life-changing. And so when we, that was truly the impetus for my going into this field. We moved to Scripps Ranch in the fall of '98. Grandma was still with us. I assumed, leaving a rural area and going to a more urban area like Poway, that surely there'd be another adult day program to transfer her into. And when we arrived here, I found there was nothing. That the closest center was in Escondido, and then the one in Ramona. And
we've got all the geography covered from La Mesa.
Yes, and so it was. Sadly, in that last 6 months, Grandma passed away 6 months after we made the move, but in that last 6 months we had gone full circle in the caregiving experience, where we lost that really valuable support system that the adult day program provided. It not only enhanced her quality of life, but it also, for me as her primary caregiver, was vital because I eventually was able to return to teaching once Grandma was set up and on a regular schedule at the day program. So it was that sparked my desire to bring a program into the community where I now live.
So what do you think is the most important thing for people to know about the Adult Day?
Yeah, well, we are the most comprehensive and affordable long-term care option that exists for families today on the whole spectrum. Adult day services, in comparison to home care, provide, and I love home care. We had to utilize home care as a supplement to Grandma attending the day center. But under our roof, for about $17 to $20 an hour, dependent on the services and the program that one of our clients is enrolled in, they're being provided with breakfast, lunch, a full day of therapeutic activities. We have nurses on staff that are checking blood sugar levels, administering medications, checking blood pressures. We have social workers that are providing vital support not only to our client but to their caregivers. Care management, case management are terms that you're probably familiar with. That's all happening under one roof. It's not just a babysitting service where some people think, oh, okay, well, are people just sort of sitting there in their chair dozing off and, in front of a TV? There is no TV. It's like school. We have a daily schedule of activities. Yes.
No, and I am teaching.
I know.
I teach English as a second language 2 days a week to about 25.
At the center?
At the center as a volunteer.
In fact, today I'm missing my class.
And Miss Lois is very, very popular amongst her English students and or students that are whose first language is not English. And when Mom's not there, they'll say, "Is Mom okay? Where's Mom? Is Miss Lois this okay? So I know they're all wondering.
And then on Friday, my husband and I do a sing-along. I play the piano and he sings.
My gosh.
And we've been doing this for about 14 years at a time.
Fun.
Yeah. It's really special. We become like an extension of the home environment for our families, and I can't tell you how many times families had said, "Oh my gosh, if I'd known of this sooner, I would have had my dad here 2 or 3 years ago." You know.
And I know we have a lot to cover, so I'm going to move on. I'm just going to go in terms of you doing grant. I know you charge a certain fee, and we're going to get into that, but I like to let the audience know that there is an opportunity, that this is something that they can contribute to. You want to tell us about the nonprofit arm?
Right. Well, and this is I guess I'm sort of a fundraiser then in a sense, although the Friends is to help with a lot of services, including transportation. And when I was at Grossmont College, I got really a lot into fundraise in grants writing. And so we've had grants from Sandag and from the County of San Diego, and a number, even Walmart, and they have, because they're interested in the programs. And so it is the supplement. I mean, we just finished a program called Transmed, where in addition to the coming to and from the center, we would take them to doctor's appointments and to getting their pharmaceutical things that relieve the family of having to do all these kind of errand sort of things. And then we do the usual, having a Christmas or a holiday newsletter goes out and telling them how much we can use this to supplement to make this program a better one. And when you get a contribution to Friends of Adult Day Healthcare Center, it's tax deductible. And so we haven't done it broadly. I mean, we haven't gone on TV about it, but
now we have.
We'll have your phone number scrolling along the bottom here.
That'd be just wonderful.
That phone's going to ring off the hook.
That's right.
Because
we're looking forward to
even the smaller donations, it is a feeling of reward that you are helping, and a lot of the people that have been donors have been the recipients of adult daycare services themselves, and so it's where I feel like in my third career, I guess, that this is what my purpose is to help enhance this program that we believe in so very much.
Yeah. Yeah, the Friends helps us to bring in additional activities like the chair yoga and special music therapy programs, helps us to be able to make a contribution to our Humane Society volunteers and pet therapy volunteers. So
and
it's
three of the buses were from Caltrans
that
I wrote the grant for.
Yeah, 3 of our wheelchair lift equipped buses, which are vital to our operation, are grant funded through the Friends.
So. You want to?
So can you give us an example of a typical family at the Poway Day Health Care Center that, say, I took care of my parents from a distance, didn't have this option, would have loved this option, to be totally honest. But what could someone expect if they brought their loved one to the center?
Sure. Our typical new person coming into the program is usually an adult child or a spouse who is recognizing that their loved one is no longer really able to be safe on their own at home during the day alone. And that caregiver is either working full-time or just needing respite. One of our very early family members that was a lovely husband and wife who are no longer alive, but Joe Butler was a board member of ours many years. He was a husband that reached out to us and said, my wife has been newly diagnosed with Alzheimer's. She's in the early stages, and I would love to still be able to go and golf a couple days a week, which he was an avid golfer, and he had looked at several different options before he came to us, and eventually, and so Ginger started attending 2 days a week as her dementia dementia progressed. She ended up going up to 5 days a week, but we were the support system that enabled Joe and Ginger to continue living together and being together in their own home almost right up until the time that she passed away. We also have the scenarios of a daughter, you know, or son that's working full time, and just recently we had a situation where we actually had 2 people that were literally attending the center, enjoying life, participating in the activities as recently as last week, who we got the news yesterday that they both passed away in their sleep over the weekend. So to be able to be a part of someone's life in those last months or years, and to know that we were able to not only help their caregiver, but to help that person experience the best possible quality of life they could, as close to the end as possible, is really a powerful, very rewarding feeling. I wish that more people had this option available to them. We absolutely extend the amount of time that people can continue to live in their home environment. And then we've also had situations where many times we will be that bridge, that intermediary program that enables a family to keep mom or dad or their husband or wife at home for another 2, 3, 4 years. And then they may get to the point where they realize, okay, I really do now need that 24-hour level of care. I've had families call me later and say, you know, the adjustment for my mom going into the 24-hour care facility was made so much easier by the fact that she was already in the routine of getting up and going to another place, being with a group of people, making friendships,
and socialization going.
We all, it's such a basic human need to feel. We're social beings, so such a basic fundamental human need to be part of a community and to feel that we still matter and that there are people. Every day when our clients start arriving, I mean, it's a happy place. People are coming in with smiles. The staff is out there at the bus. Good morning, Jean. How are you today? I'm so glad to see you. Oh, look at you. That's such a cute dress you have on. Or, you know, and then people leave in the afternoon with the same. Just, it's all smiles. They're happy.
Thank you. I'm going to have to.
You gotta have.
We've only touched the surface, and so you're going to have to get a hold of both Catherine and Lois. Call you, get a hold of you, because we could talk about this forever. It's an amazing program. For those who've never even heard of the town of Poway, it's off the 15 corridor in North County, San Diego. Catherine, Lois, thank you so much for coming out today. This has been an honor and a privilege that Patty and I are thrilled at what you're doing, and we hope we can only support you more.
Thank you so much.
And we want you to stay tuned for more Senior Stay or Go TV.